Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Again, we continue with thermal analysis. That is, now we will discuss another technique comes under the heading of thermal analysis. We already been discussed various thermal analysis techniques and methods that come under the heading of thermal analysis. We already discussed the thermal gravimetric analysis (TGA), differential thermal analysis (DTA), differential scanning calorimetry (DSC), dynamic mechanical analysis (DMA). In this lecture, we will discuss about the thermomechanical analysis (TMA). TT thermometric titration is another thermoanalytical technique. Now we will discuss various aspects background or TMA. Many materials undergo changes of their thermomechanical properties during heating or cooling. These mechanical property changes behavior during heating or cooling comes under the heading of TMA, thermomechanical analysis. For example, phase changes, sintering steps, or softening can occur in addition to thermal expansion. TEM analysis can hereby provide valuable insight into the composition, structure, production conditions, or application possibility for various materials. Now, what is the principle of TMA? A technique in which a deformation of the sample under non-oscillating stress is monitored against the time or temperature, while the temperature of the sample in a specified atmosphere is programmed. The stress may be compression, tension, flexure, or torsion. In stress or strain, we detail discuss in DMA. Already has been discussed in DMA technique. TMA analysis can hereby provide valuable insight into the composition, structure, production conditions, or application possibility for various materials. The application range of instrument for the thermomechanical extend from quality control to research and development. Thermomechanical analysis determines dimensional changes of solids, liquids, or pasty materials as a function of temperature and a time under a defined mechanical force. Again, this is the basics for TMA is temperature or time. The vital important parameter in all the thermal analysis is time with temperature. TMA technique is one of the most important thermal analysis technique complementary to well-established DSC, differential scanning calorimetry, TGA, thermogrammetric analysis, and DMA, dynamic mechanical analysis techniques. It is an excellent tool for studying the expansion behavior and softening temperature of various materials such as thermoplastics, thermosets, elastomers, adhesives. Thermoplastic, all these are the polymers which already been discussed in DMA technique. Coatings, films, main coating behavior, the film, any kind of polymeric film, fibers used in different textile materials, metals for the different steel structures, ceramics and composites for the construction industry and for the household things made of having a composition of ceramics. Thermomechanical analysis is also a very sensitive method and can be used to determine weak physical transitions that are associated with change in modulus, current, and delamination. All these modulus have been already been discussed in DMA technique. TM allows you to measure thermal expansion and shrinkage behavior, softening and changes in mechanical properties of material induced by physical or chemical transitions such as the glass transition, crystallization, melting, and curing of any material under observation in TMA under the heading of TMA technique. In TMA, rather it's not a DMA, it is a TMA. In TMA, the sample is placed on a sample spot and a constant load is applied to it via the measuring probe. The probe remains in a contact with the sample and moves upward and downward as the sample length In this case, the sample thickness changes with temperature, and that is measured. That thickness is measured by thermomechanical analysis. That is a mechanical property of material under observation. The displacement of probe is measured by means of linear variable differential transformer or LVDT sensor. LVDT sensor already been discussed in DMA technique. Connected to other end of the probe, the probe that is connected to the sample under investigation. The sample setup and applied load vary depending upon the measurement mode and the information regarding the sample that is to be under observation in TMA instrument. Now we will describe a bit about the TMA. Description of TMA. Here is a block diagram of TMA. This is the same type of diagram that we already been discussed in DMA, dynamic mechanical analysis. Here is a force generator to force a sample, LVDT detector probe that hold the in contact with the sample, thermocouple against the temperature sensor measuring the temperature, the sample placed at the bottom of the furnace, the furnace that holding that is used for the temperature provision to the sample under investigation. That is sample cylinder in which sample is placed. The sample is inserted into the furnace and is touched by the probe, which is connected with the length detector and force generator that already which is clearly shown in block diagram of TMA. The thermocouple for temperature measurement is located near the sample because it is used to measure the temperature changes during the operation under TMA. The sample temperature is changed in the furnace by by applying the force on the sample from the force generator via probe. The sample deformation such as thermal expansion and softening with the changing temperature is measured as the probe displaced by the length detected. The length is also measured because the force is generating and force is applied on the sample. The probe displacement measure the distance how either it is softened or hardened after applying the force and along with the temperature. The linear variable differential transformer LVDT is used for length detection sensor. LVDT in all the dynamic techniques mean DMA, and TMA is used as the sensor for the length detection, while the thermocouple in DMA and TMA is used for the change in temperature of the sample as well as the reference in both type of techniques. Now the types of probe used for TMA analysis. There are several types of probe for TMA. The choice is depend upon the measurement purpose. What kind of measurement we are taking from the TMA, because it has a various applications for different types of material. Expansion, compression probe, penetration probe, tension probe. The material of probe are quartz glass, alumina, and metal because these are high temperature bearing materials as well. These are, for example, quartz glass, alumina, all the inert materials that the material probes have quality that does not react with the sample or the reference under observation. The choice is depend upon the temperature range and or the temperature and or the measurement purpose. Expansion or compression probe, it is used for the measurement of deformation by thermal expansion and the transitional sample under the compressed forces applied. That in the figure, figure A, expansion compression probe, the probe applied on the sample. One is sample cylinder that's holding the sample, and blue is probe, and low direction is vertical applied on the sample. And this type of analysis, this type of probe is called the expansion compression probe. When we do want to do different experiment with different materials in TMA technique. Other is penetration probe. Penetration means the move into the sample. It is used for the measurement of the softening temperature. When the figure P, there is the penetration. Again, the probe comes move into the sample, and sample is placed again on the sample cylinder. Otherwise, next one is the tension probe. It is used for the measurement of the thermal expansion and thermal shrinking of the sample such as the film and the fiber. This is already shown in the figure C. There's the tension probe. The sample is placed between two cylinders that is applied up and down motion on the sample. This is called the tension probe. But Probe depend upon the material which is under observation. What kind of probe we have to use in TMA analysis? Uh, it purely depend upon the nature of the sample under observation in TMA. Let's see about the instrumentation. The sample tube that is located in the center of the furnace is used to control the temperature in atmosphere. That is clearly shown in the block diagram. The probe is shown, sample is placed, furnace for the temperature control, thermocouple for temperature sensing to detect LVDT detector for the length or expansion or compression sensor, and signal related to the position is given to the recorder and load is applied at the top of the instrument. This is block diagram of TMA. The area around the sample can usually be both heated and cooled to prevent the heat rise problem and the sample temperature. The furnace in which the sample is placed is temperature controlled. Also, uh, it is connected to the heat sink, means it's increase or decrease the temperature, and depend upon the material, what kind of material under observation in TMA, we can increase or decrease the temperature after applying the force on the sample by applying a load under different conditions. That temperature is sensed by the thermocouple has to be detected to program controlled. Instrumentation is continued. The sample platform and the probe are made from a material such as quartz. Quartz is an inert material that will not it should be of the made of the material that must not react with the sample under observation. Quartz is chosen at is a low, reproducible, accurately known coefficient of thermal expansion. And also it has low thermal conductivity to isolate the LVDT from the temperature change in the furnace. Instrumentation is continued. The probe can also be made from aluminum and metal depending upon the temperature range and the measurement purpose. It totally depend upon the sample under observation. If we clear about the sample, then what kind of temperature we required for the expansion studies, for the temperature behavior studies, for the expansion of the studies, for the contraction studies in TM analysis, then the probe is depend upon the nature of the sample. The heavy black probe measures the position of sample furnace with linearly variable differential transfer LVDT. Again, LVDT is a sensor for measurement, expansion, and contraction in the sample behavior after applying the force by a load in TMA technique. Instrumentation continues. The floating suspension act as a balance for the arm arrangement combined with added weights at the top, allowing the probe weight to be counterbalanced that can be used to control the force on the sample. So this is the load applied on the sample by a probe. LVDT sensor detect the compression or the contraction when load is applied on the sample in TMA technique. Instrumentation is contain the PERT gas used during the TMA measurement. PERT gas is very important, as already been discussed in format techniques in TGA in DFC. Because if we cannot purge the inner environment of the furnace, it might the sample with the passage of time may react with the oxygen inside the material, so it may be damaged, decomposed, or produce a new product. Then the thermal expansion, thermal contraction cannot be measured accurately when a sample is under observation in TMA. Its purpose is to ensure continuous laminar gas flow to prevent the formation of air turbulence as the temperature is being increased, and to prevent decomposition of degradation products inside the various product of the instrument. Instrumentation continues. The PERC gas is also used to increase heat transfer to the sample and to prevent oxidation in high temperature measure that has already been discussed. Helium is chosen for this purpose because it has high thermal conductivity. So the choice of gas also depend upon its thermal conductivity, and usually the helium is chosen because of its high thermal conductivity. Now, how to operate the TMA instrument? The instrument is warmed up before putting the sample. It is very common. Every instrument in the analytical labs is warm up before to put the sample in in the analysis, even it's maybe a spectroscopy technique, chromatography, any other technique. The place is prepared by according to mode used. For example, the sample should be flat for compression mode to make sure the sample is in a good contact with the probe. So, the shape of the sample is very important in TMA analysis. The sample is put into the furnace and the probe touches the sample. The probe is integrated into an inductive position sensor. For temperature measurement of sample, the thermocouple is placed near the sample to accurate measurement the temperature difference when the force is applied in TM of the sample. Operating the TMS continuous system is rated as a slow rate to get the accurate and reliable results. If the specimen expand or contract, the probe will be moved. By applying the force on the sample from the force generated by the probe, the sample temperature change in the furnace had already been discussed in the former slides in block diagram. The sample deformation such as thermal expansion and softening with changing temperature are measured as the probe displaced by the length detector LVDT. Linear variable differential transfer LVDT is used for the length detection sensor. The measurement consists then of a record of force and length versus temperature. So, why this is called the TMA? Thermal, mechanical, and mechanical mean its length contraction or expansion as a function of time. So, measurement the record the force and the length versus temperature is the basic principle of TMA. How we prepare the sample for the TM analysis? First of all, we look into the sample preparation. If we have bulk samples, parallel faces for expansion, reasonably flat for penetration. That we already been discussed. Different types of probes are used for the sample analysis, but it depends upon the sample, which kind of sample is under observation in TMA. Films, fibers, cut and mount using fixtures. Use razors to avoid tears and cracks, which means that it's clear if we want to analyze the films or fibers by TMA technique, and then they should be flat and should be free from the tears and cracks. Because with tears and cracks, uh, maybe it's disturb the temperature measurement and expansion measurement when we apply a load in TMA. Operating conditions is also important in TMA. For example, in the operating condition, force is the most importantly expansion low force. If we want to analyze the expansion behavior of the sample under observation in TMA, then we have to apply a low force. It must be 0.001 Newton to 0.05 Newton. Then we have penetration a high force, and for the penetration type of measurement that we already been discussed in former probes, if we have a penetration type of probe, then we have to apply a high force. That the force must be in range of 0.05 Newton to 0.5 Newtons. Heating rates are also an important parameter which is to be considered in TMA. Use low heating rate to prevent thermal gradients. It should be less than or equal to 5 degree per minute. Faster heating rates are fine for thin or conductive sample purge gas. Again, the importance, the nature of the purge gas. Below 300 degrees Celsius, helium is used because of excellent thermal conductivity. It already been discussed in former slide. Above 300 degrees Celsius, nitrogen is used. Helium will overwork furnace at high temperature. Flow rate must be 100 ml per minute of any purge gas that is utilized in TMA instrument for the analysis of any type of material for its characteristic properties. Now, another important feature in the TMA is the calibration. Calibration is very important in any type of analytical instrument. This is thermoanalytical technique. So, calibration is also important in TMA techniques to get most reliable, accurate, and precise result. So, there are four factors to calibrate to get the accurate result in TMA. So, for the calibration point of view, calibration order will be probe calibration. We already discussed with three types of probe and how we calibrate the probe. Force calibration, the top load provided on the sample in the furnace. We have to calibrate the force. Temperature calibration, either we have to get the correct temperature from the furnace after noting the behavior of different type of material under observation TMA and the cell constant. So calibration continue. First of all, the probe calibration. Calibrate the LVDT. LVDT again the sensor for the expansion and the contraction, mean the length measurement sensor, and adjust force calibration factor to to compensate for difference in the mass of various probe types. Perform every time a probe is changed installed. Mean the calibration of probe must be done when we have to install a new probe in our TMA. So every time we have to calibrate the probe to start a new experiment in TMA when we install a new probe. It is mandatory. Force calibration calibrate the amount of force extended by the probe on the sample stage. Two weight values are used, zero and standard weight. Wow, definitely, when we calibrate any system and analytical instrument, we are to apply two types of weight: zero weight and the standard weight. Our recommended standard weight is 50 grams. Allowable ranges is 10 to 100 grams. Force calibration constant is calculated. Displayed value should be 1 plus minus 0.25. Mean displacement display value of the force should be of plus in the range of 0.225. Now we look into another calibration factor, that is temperature calibration factor. In the temperature calibration, using melting point standard, typical metals will be used for the for the temperature calibration of TMA instrument. Use penetration probe for all overhead probes. This is a type of instrument. Use metal wire for film fiber probe by stage. In the diagram you can see indium metal, tin metal and zinc metal for different temperature calibration are used. In case of indium, 156.6 degree for indium, 231.1 degree tin and 419.8 degrees centigrade for the zinc. These metals are used for the temperature calibration of TMA instruments. The calibration continue. The last one is cell constant. Cell constant is also an important factor in TMA instruments. Cell constant calibration will improve accuracy but not the reproducibility. Reproducibility is analysis of the same material by different labs, by different chemists. This is called the reproducibility. Calculated cell constant should be 1 plus minus 0.05. Cell constant calibration should be used when highest accuracy is required. Highest accuracy is less than 2%. Accuracy basically a difference of actual results and the true results. Aluminium metal is used for the cell constant calibration. Run aluminium standard over the desired temperature. In this graph you can see it is run between 0 to 250 temperature and dimension changes in micrometer can be seen. It is run from 50 degree to 200 degree centigrade. Calibration constant is 1.0167 while the reference is 24.9 micrometer per meter per centigrade is achieved. So this is aluminium. Aluminium is a standard for the cell constant is used in TMA instrument. Now we'll look into the applications of TMA. TMA used in is in various industries for analysis of different types of analysis to characterize various properties of material under observation. For example, we have plastic industry. In plastic industry, we have elastomer, thermosets, and thermoplastics. For this type of material, we have to check the coefficient of thermal expansion, glass transition, and creep behavior. We have electronic industry. In electronic industry, we have to measure the glass transition, coefficient of thermal expansion, and delaminations. And these aspects will be discussed in the next coming slides. For example, we have paint, lacquer, and paint industry. In this, the paint, lacquers, adhesives, coatings are found. For these materials, using TMA instrument, we can measure the softening point of all these materials. In the textile fibers, we can measure the expansion and shrinkage behavior of the fibers. in packaging films expansion, and again the expansion and shrinking behavior of these packaging film packaging materials. In the chemical industry, we have organic and inorganic materials, metals, pharmaceutical products, and for all these materials, coefficient of thermal expansion behavior, solid-solid transition can be observed, can be characterized by DMA instruments. Now we discuss about the determination of coefficient of thermal expansion CTE. This is coefficient of thermal expansion. Material expand or contract as a result of an increase or decrease in temperature. This depends upon the material, what kind of material under observation. They exhibit different expansion and contraction behavior in different temperature ranges. The possibility of dimensional changes due to temperature changes must be taken into account when designing composites from different materials and in many engineering applications. Otherwise, cracks and damaging can occur and lead to product failure. If we cannot discuss or cannot calculate the CTE value of different construction material, then this will be the damaging to the economy, damaging to the engineering design, damaging to the constructions, and the failure of the product in its final mode. The diagram shows the determination of coefficient of thermal expansion in CTE of several different inorganic material by TMA. From the graph, there are three types of material involved: Durand glass and quartz. Their behavior is explained in this graph with increasing the force and with increasing the temperature. For example, the prerequisite for accurate CT result are low signal noise, are low heating rate, and blank subtraction. Material with non-uniform thermal expansion of special interest. For example, these include Invar, a nickel steel alloy with 36 from nickel, which has practically zero thermal expansion at the ambient temperature. Invar is that can be seen tangibly from the graph, that is blue line, 4.341 millimeter Durand glass. So it's practically a zero thermal expansion at ambient temperature. You can see from the graph. In this graph, if you involve, for example, the expansion coefficient, 100 expansion coefficient at 100 temperature is 0.75. So it's it means practically a zero thermal expansion at the ambient temperature. It is 8.75 at 100 degrees. We have a Durand glass, like most mineral glasses, has very low coefficient of expansion below the glass transition temperature. It can be seen from the black Durand glass from the black diagram that has 3.3 expansion at 100 degrees centigrade. Then we have a crystalline quartz measured here in the C-axis direction, expand steadily up to the solid-solid transition at about 575 degrees Celsius, after which it began to contract. And it's mean at 575 degrees centigrade it's expand, and after this temperature it can be contract, begins to contract. This is very clear from the figure. This is in form of a red graph. You can see the quad expansion coefficient at 500 it is 22.59, while in case of 600 it is 1.62. It means it began to contract, not expand. The thermal expansion coefficient decrease from 22.59 to 1.42. Softering of coatings, TMA, can also be used for measurement of the softering of coating. Coating are applied to the substance in many industrial application to improve the surface properties of the substrates, the thermal and mechanical stability of such coatings, and their thickness and characteristics. They play an important role in product quality, process control, and the cost control. Cost control is most important nowadays in any type of industry. It's also a graphical explanation for two types of material with the two different steps, step 1 and step 2. Step 1 is the softering, step 2 is the decomposition of enamel coating. In this application, two copper wires A and B with different enamel insulation coating were measured in TMA penetration mode. penetration model already been discussed in what kind of probe we are used. This depend upon the material under observation in TMA. In both cases, the resulting TMA curves exhibit two steps. The first step of each curve at about 150 degrees Celsius due to the softening of individual insulation coating. At 150 degrees centigrade, you can see this is the first step. This is the softening of individual insulation coating. Second step, above 200 degrees centigrade, correspond to decomposition of the coating. From the graph you can clearly see the material A and material B in the blue. The onset of for B material type is 149.18 degrees centigrade, while in case of A type material onset is of 173.08 degrees centigrade. In sample A, both effects occur about 20 degree to higher temperature compared with the effect in sample B. It's mean the softening is start for the temperature for the A type of material is 173.0 degree centigrade, while in case of B it is start at 149.18. It's mean that 20 degree is higher in case of material B comparative to the sample B under observation in TMA. This demonstrates that the thermal and mechanical stability of insulation of wire A is superior than the sample B. The TMA penetration mode is often the most sensitive method for measuring the softening or glass transition of thin coatings. The thickness of coating can also be estimated by adding the heights of two steps together and dividing by 2 because both the lower and upper layers contribute to the steps. It's a penetration type of when we use a penetration type probe for TMA analysis. The results show that the coating are 12 to 15 micro thick. Shrinkage of polymer films can also be studied by TMA. Stretch film often have a preferred orientation and hence exhibit anisotropic mechanical properties. These properties can be characterized by measuring the expansion or shrinkage behavior using TMA. The TMA curve of two polyether sulfone based film is shown in the diagram. The solid line is in the stretching direction. The dotted line is the across the stretching direction. The red curve shows the result obtained from the stretch film measure in and across the stretching direction, and the blue curve the result from the unstretched film. The unstretched sample is isotropic and show the same behavior in both measurement directions. The behavior of stretched sample is very different in the stretched direction compared with that right angle. In the stretched direction, the film shrinks from about 100 degrees Celsius onward, whereas across the stretched direction, the length of film increases with increasing the temperature. So, with using the TMA instrument, we can study the shrinkage behavior of any type of material under observation of any type of polymer. So, thank you very much. If you have any question, please put in the chat box. I will answer of your every question. Again, thank you very much, and God bless you.